Hi, my name is Michelle Williams, and today I'm going to be teaching you about this very popular Mexican dish called tortas de papa that was a staple in my household as I was growing up as a child, and now it is too for my family. It's super simple to make, it doesn't take much time, but the result is just delicious. Thank you. Okay, so at this point I have washed my potatoes and dried them, and we're going to add them to a pot of boiling water. And you can and we're going to add about half a teaspoon of sea salt to the water while they're boiling. And you will leave them there to boil until they are soft enough to put a knife or a fork through them, but they're not falling apart completely. Because after that, we're going to mash them and go on to the next step. Okay, now that I have peeled my potatoes, I'm going to put them in this bowl. I'm going to add some flour, some yellow cornmeal, you want the cornmeal to give it that grittiness for when you bite into it once they're cooked. So I would add about 3 tablespoons of cornmeal and about 1 tablespoon of this masa de maíz, maseca. We add that. We're going to add some shredded cheese. And salt and an egg. Okay, now we're going to add about 1 teaspoon or so of salt, and we're going to taste it later on, make sure it's right. A dash of nutmeg. And baking powder so that they can rise while you're cooking them. It's very important. So we will add 1 teaspoon baking powder. Okay, so this is what you'll have. Now we are going to get my bean masher and just mash everything together until everything is well incorporated so that we can chill this for about 30 minutes and then we can make our tortas. Okay, I've added olive oil and bacon grease to my cast iron skillet, and I'm going to bring my mashed potatoes over here. And I'm going to start the process of cooking them. What you want to do is have the oil not too hot so that it doesn't burn up. But you're going to sprinkle some flour on top. And you grab, has to have the perfect texture. So I'll grab about this much and I'll kind of mix it in together. You have to have the perfect consistency, because if not, the potatoes, once it hits the oil, will just go everywhere and splash. So the flour is an important step to making them. I know it seems like it's a lot of flour, but it's not. I have this down pat. It's a recipe that my mom used to make as I was growing up, and I make it for my kids now and they love it. So okay, once you have a little ball like this, you're gonna flour it up on both sides like this, and we're gonna put it in the oil. You want to make sure that the oil is hot, like I said, but not too hot, because you don't want to burn it, and you don't want to be flipping it over and over, because if not, they'll just come apart. So once you put it in, you want to gently just let it fry up on one side. You give it about, I don't know, like a minute or so for it to fry. I normally splash it on the side so that you know everything's cooking. And then we're going to gently flip it over. I don't know if you want to get closer so you can see how it's supposed to start looking. It's supposed to get that brown tone to it. And that's how you know that it's coming out. Perfecto. Perfect. Once this is done, you're going to put them on a plate with paper so that they can, you know, all the oil can come out. And then you're going to serve it up, and I'll show you how I plate it up in a minute once I finish doing about, I don't know, like 30 of these. We like them a lot. Okay, so once your torta de papa looks like this, it's nice and browned, you can see that it's on both sides. We're going to take it out. A little good drain from the oil. You don't want all the excess oil. I usually put them in a napkin for them to drain off some of the excess oil. And I am going to plate it up next and show you what the final product looks like. Okay, and just to show you guys, this right here, if you want to do a close-up, is what the final product looks like. This is my relish that I made, and it has the Mexican salsa on top of it. And here's my torta de papa with some pickled onions that I make, some garlic, rosemary, basil aioli, and a chipotle aioli to go with it.